What's going on, everybody? We got speed dating again. Let's fucking go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Purple Pill Pod. This is episode 2 of our speed dating, the number one show in the world for dating, started right here in Dallas, Texas. Please make sure to go and follow the Instagram, guys. That tag down below. If you're a single lady in Dallas, please hit me up if you ever want to come on the show. Please become a member to the YouTube channel. Also, click the join button down there if you want to use some cool emojis. We also got the Patreon. We got I'm trying to think, the Twitter, the Facebook, the TikTok. Go follow all those things for me, guys. Just support it as much as you can. Yeah, let's just go ahead and get started with our special guest. We got Indy back. She's came on a couple shows before. So yeah, why don't you just kind of introduce yourself for us? Go ahead and say your Instagram too for them really quick. But yeah, she's also tagged on the Instagram, so go follow it right now if you want to go add her.
Yeah, that's my IG right there.
Into the mic for us.
That's my IG right there, Simply Indie. I'm 27. I'm a veteran. I'm from Dallas originally. I'm an engineer. And also kind of like a serial entrepreneur. I do like investing, and I've started to kind of like dabble my toes in some different avenues and stuff like that. And I'm a mom. So I have kids.
How many?
I have 3.
3 kids.
Yeah. And I was married from 18 to 25. So I've been single for like 2 years.
Okay.
So, yeah.
18 to 25. Okay. Well, she was married, guys, so she's not a baby mama. So let me just learn some more about you. Let me think. What are your hobbies?
Yeah, so I really like hiking. I do kind of nerding out, but like I do like puzzles. I like coloring books and like playing like Scrabble and like strategy games and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I listen to like a lot of podcasts or Audible stuff. I hang out with my kids. I just got a dog.
Okay.
So yeah.
Have you always been a dog person, or is this like your first time to have a dog in a long time, or what?
So yeah, like I've always kind of been like a dog person, but the responsibility of a dog, I feel like right now is a good place because I just graduated. So it's like I have more patience with the dog, or like time to give the dog.
Yeah.
Before it was like I love the dog, but I can't.
I have no time for this bullshit.
Exactly. Yeah.
It really does take a lot of responsibility. It's sad whenever you leave them in the cage for 8 hours, but
yes, exactly.
That's just the life of a lot of dogs today. Unless you have parents that are tech, like they work in tech or something.
Yeah, exactly.
So do you work from home?
Yeah. So I do work from home, except for like the one-off. Like today, I went to like a tech conference, or I'll go like attend.
Here, talk more into the mic.
Or I'll go like attend.
You can pull it closer to you, by the way.
I'll go attend like events or just like further education stuff for tech or like networking events.
Mm-hmm.
So I do travel. Like I have like some months where I travel a lot.
I gotta ask because it looks like you're struggling to sit in the chair straight because your feet can't even touch the ground. How tall are you?
I'm 5 foot.
You're 5 foot?
I'm 5 foot flat.
Yeah, I could tell you're super short. That's crazy. And then what's your preference in a guy though? Since you're 5 foot tall, like what's the height of a guy that you usually like?
So when I put on my tallest pair of heels, I'm like 5'6" or so, 6-inch heels, right? Mm-hmm. So just as long as like we're not like right at eye level, like I can like see the bald spot in the back of your head.
What's the shortest guy you've ever talked to?
Not talked to, but I went on a date with a guy that was like 5'4".
Okay, was that awkward?
Yeah,
it was a little bit awkward.
Because I was taller than him when I wore because I wore heels on the date.
What about like actually a guy that you really liked? Like how tall was that? Like the shortest guy?
That probably
was
like 5'7". Like
there was
5'6", 5'7". Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's a nice advantage being a short girl today because there's lots of short guys that really.
But you know what's crazy? Short guys don't try to talk to me. The really tall, mountainous, like tree type of guys try to talk to me.
They want little tiny girls. No, that's funny. Also, like, what do you like a gym person, or are you not like that big of a gym person?
So I would say I'm more into like health and wellness. So like I care more about like your diet,
what you're eating,
what you eat, and like your water consumption, and like the way that you like take care of your body.
Do you have crystals?
Yeah, I do. I do,
Yeah.
but I care more about like not necessarily crystals, but I care more about like
Holistic though.
if you go on like a walk for like 30 minutes a day.
Yeah.
I care more about that than if you're getting all like juiced up and going like throw weights around.
Do you like the dad bods or the muscular dudes?
So I don't really have a preference as long as you're like healthy.
That's
Like
healthy.
if you're fat as hell,
That's not okay.
no.
Yeah, but just like a little chub because he's just a little bit out the gym. That's okay.
Yeah, or like age. You know, like some people like as
Because
they
they're 40 or
age.
45, they're just gonna look that way.
No, even like some 30-year-old guys now. Like they drink a lot of beer or like socially drink, but they eat well Monday through Friday, but on the weekends they go and get like trashed. They might got a little
Guys,
dad bod.
guys, don't be drinking like that. Don't be getting the dad bod just from fucking do that. Oh yeah, guys, can we get the link up into the chat, Donnie?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we're gonna get a link in here, guys. So then, if anybody wants to join and do the speed dating with her after we ask some more questions and learn a little bit more about her, y'all can join and have a nice little speed date. You know. Let me think. What else do we want to learn about you? What would you say is like your political affiliation? Are you like more blue or more red?
So I would say that I'm more like independent because there's things from both parties that I can like. I'm a very logical person, so what makes sense to me, and what doesn't.
So you're not gonna if a guy wanted to come in that's all red or all blue, you wouldn't knock them out because there's certain things that they could be right or wrong on.
No, just as long as it's not. I don't deal with extremist.
Mhm.
So as long as it's because I come from like a multicultural family, so that
Okay.
means that I've been exposed to like different religions and different um, like political affiliations.
Mhm.
So for me, it's like, what does that look like coming into like my family dynamic? So like, are you going to be like an extreme like Republican and everyone in my family is going to be like, what the fuck? Are you
Yeah.
going to be an extreme Democrat and then my family is going to be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know?
Either way, yeah, it's weird if you go in extreme either direction.
Right.
Like is there a is there like a certain type of guy that you want when it comes to like being a homebody or going out all the time? Do you want somebody that's uh that's always there with you? Do you like to have a lot of free time?
Yeah, no, I don't like being up my partner's butt. Like, I think that it's a red flag for me if a guy has no guy friends.
Yeah,
So that says a lot about him as a man if he can't get along with like
other
other
guys.
guys. So like I think that it is healthy to have like
Like he'll have his guy nights and you'll have your
yeah,
girl stuff.
exactly. And then like I think that date night is like crucial. Like no more than 2 weeks need to pass with us having a like actual outing where we're spending quality time getting to like have conversation and like learn like, oh shit, like you don't like roller coasters.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have known that. How do we not come to Six Flags? Like, you know, doing stuff like that. So I do like to go out, but I would say it's more like I'm kind of socially awkward. Like some of my friends, like they like to turn up, and don't get me wrong, like I'll turn up, like I'll go, but then there's like I hit this wall and I zone out, and they just see it in my face, and they're like, "All right, yeah, she's like,
She's
I'm
not
like,
here.
yeah,
She's checked out.
yeah, it's time to go home.
Yeah.
Like, I'm tired.
Yeah,
I want to get in my bed.
that's how I am too. I just
Yeah,
want to go home sometimes.
exactly. So it's like socially, my social meter runs out.
Yeah.
By what time? 7 p.m.
No.
Okay.
10 o'clock, like 10 o'clock.
She falling asleep at brunch and
What
shit.
like what time is actually like since you have kids like what time do you usually go to bed at?
So like I try to go to bed at like 10 o'clock. Sometimes I'll have later nights where like I might be like reading something or like doing something like a project or get really interested in like
Reading something.
yeah, like coding languages and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I'll go down like a rabbit hole.
So I'm surprised that. So what language have you learned so far?
So I'm teaching myself Python right now. I do know some like C++ and like some Java stuff and some SQL.
Props to you. It's extremely hard. I tried to do it for a short amount of time, and I just could not fucking do it. I just think it takes a very extreme concentration and focus.
Yeah, and essentially you also have to know like the fundamentals of like the language that the computer speak, which is like binary and like command line. So because that's essentially like what it is, like you're scripting. So you're telling this computer how to talk to each other in their language.
Yeah, as if shit. There was so much stuff that I hated in that
Yes,
stuff. Like it was
exactly.
not. It
You
just
have
was.
to like it. Like,
It
you
was
have to
yeah.
like
You
it.
do have to like it.
Yeah.
And I can see that there's a special kind of person that would like. If I was taking Adderall all the time, I could probably like it.
Yeah,
but,
exactly. You have to be a very type A personality. I
Yeah.
always say that. Like,
And like, man, I know a lot of people in it, and it's like, man, you only do this because you take medication that makes you good at it. You fucking cheater.
they're
Like-
just sitting there like wired up.
Bro, all day long. Like it's
Yeah.
ridiculous. So do you really want to date somebody that's kind of in the same field, or would you go with somebody that's complete opposite, like a blue collar worker? Like you're the white collar, he's the blue collar.
Okay, so I think we talked about this a little bit last time when I was on the show. I found that dating long term and purposefully, it's a lot easier for me to date someone who's in a more structured workforce, or maybe they're like an entrepreneur, but they're like in real estate. So, like, I don't do well with guys who are in creative fields. So, like, if someone comes to me and tells me that they're like
An artist,
a rapper, or like a drummer,
or like
or like
painter,
they,
I don't know,
yeah,
some type
I'm
of-
like, what the fuck? Where's your like 401k? Do you have health insurance? Like, I just start going down this rabbit hole of questions.
No, it's just like there's like those really serious jobs that have 401ks, and there's the bunch of them that don't.
Yeah, and then like I have met one-off guys who are like entrepreneurs, and they own like maybe like art galleries or things like that, and they actually have educated themselves on like where to put their money.
Yeah.
So they might buy like a piece of art, sell it for $20,000, and then take it and like put it in a like a long-term portfolio for a stock or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's just how like financially literate is he?
So like, how old are you again?
27.
So is it like kind of hard for you to find guys that you think are like at your standard that you have, because you're 27, you're killing it work wise. You obviously need somebody that's like a really strong man, because you have 3 kids that have to be
Right.
that they have to look up to. And how much is the other dad in your life also too?
So him and he has like a girlfriend and everything like that. Like, we have a very
Is it like 50-50 or every
yeah,
other
so
weekend?
like so I have my youngest 2 live in Chicago, and then my oldest lives here.
Okay.
So like my youngest 2 are in private school in Chicago. They have a good schedule. Like, we talk about things in regard to school and stuff like that. He does have a girlfriend, like I said. I'm like, cool.
Yeah. And she's
As
like
long
a good
as she's
mother
not
figure.
like, yeah, I'm like, as long as
Yeah.
she's like not like crazy, you know. I guess my big concern was guys always date below, like, age wise.
Mhm.
She has no kids. She's 23, so I'm like,
Yeah.
you know, but I'm like, okay, she's a sweet girl. She has her head on her shoulders.
Just like
That's
my
all
girl.
I care about. Like, that's
Yeah.
all I care about. Do not have me on like first 48 behind my kids.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so it's pretty easy. I think the more we've gotten into like our latter half of our divorce, and he lives in a different state, so it's like he's
Yeah,
not
you
in
don't
my
have to worry about
business.
talking to each other
I'm
about.
not in his business like that.
Yeah.
So
It's healthy.
yes.
It's way healthier.
Yes.
I'm trying to think what else. So your kid that's here though, how old are they?
So my oldest, he's 7.
He's
here.
7.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So guys, that's what you'd have to deal with, a 7-year-old.
Mhm.
It's not that bad though. I think a lot of guys would actually be really, really happy to be a stepfather to a son, because you get to do all the really fun shit.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
there's a lot of fun shit that comes with being a stepdad. Like I have an amazing stepfather. I love him to death. And yeah, he definitely got to experience all the fun shit. Like
Exactly.
I shot my first deer with him.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, like when I was like 11, I rode my first bull.
That's what I was gonna
Like
say.
I did a lot of really cool things that I don't think a lot of shot coyotes. I got to do all types of fun stuff.
Coyotes.
Yeah.
That's
Like
crazy.
there was a lot of fun stuff that I got to do that I know a lot of younger guys didn't get to experience, and it's just because of my stepfather.
Yeah, because they lack that male figure in the household.
I always feel like actually if you have a really good father and a really good stepfather, you get a huge advantage over people who just have one father, because that's double the knowledge, double, like all the, there's just so much you can learn from a father figure.
Oh yeah,
And so
definitely.
and like my dad was really good at saving, worked for the government, entrepreneur. But like my stepdad was a builder. Like he could build anything. He'd take an engine apart and put it back together.
So
like he was
the
a hunter.
manly man.
Yeah, he was the
so you
hunter.
learn
But
those
it's
skill
just a
sets.
very blue versus very red, and getting both sides of it, man. I got the luckiest
best of both
start
worlds.
ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you should. I would feel really happy actually if you're a really strong woman and you have a lot going for you, because you can find a really badass dude, and then your kid's gonna end up in a better situation because they actually have 2 dads that made them better.
Yeah, because that's what I was gonna say, is that my ex-husband is like career-wise very like financially. Like he's not like.
But you know how serious I am about how you got to find a guy because I don't like households without men in them. But you live with your father right now, or do you live with a man with like a like an uncle or anybody or any brothers
So,
or anything?
like right now, like my son's at my parents' house,
Okay.
and my stepdad is present in the home, very actively involved with my son.
Then that's the
He's
same thing
taking him
already.
like fishing and like does boy stuff like building.
That's all that matters. He
desk
already has
bats.
one then.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, go ahead and throw the link in there again for just in case somebody else needs it again. And then let me think. What else? I want to know. Hmm. Is there like a dressing preference? Like if the guy like do you like the guys that kind of dress a little bit more like gangsters, I guess say like kind of rapperish, or do you like the guys that dress in like the suits and like the really nice wear? Like what's your style? I guess
I think balance.
you want
Like,
kind of both. Can you
yeah,
do
because
both?
like there's days like obviously like I told you I came from like a tech conference, so
Mhm.
there's days where I might wear like a t-shirt, a cardigan, jeans, and like my blazers or
Mhm.
something like, or like dunks.
Mhm.
And so like I don't want you to show up in a suit either. And I have like chill clothes on. So like being able to just code switch, I guess, style wise.
Yeah, he has to be all around.
Yeah.
He has to have all around style. Yeah,
Well versed, or
well
at least
versed.
open to it. Because I know some guys, they literally don't give a shit about fashion. They're like, I'm at
Have you
work.
ever gave some tips to men that you've been with? Have you been like, hey, you should do this or do that?
Oh yeah, I would say all the guys any guy that I've like dated or like been affiliated with, they always get put onto like the best colognes. I always am like, hey, let me tell you a secret. Like,
Yeah, I remember last show you gave us all some
exactly,
secrets.
and not just like the typical like Dior Sauvage, like, and then also like ways that you can still look put together, but like like casual.
Mm-hmm.
So like chino pants or like they have like the sport shirts now and like the shorts and stuff like that, and the guy can wear like sneakers with it.
Some
And it
people
looks
like
good.
think it's like really shameful if the girl is like dressing the dude, but if I'm being 1,000% honest, like a lot of inner game and just game is guys learning how to just not look like a fucking dork,
Yeah.
like how to just look normal, like a
Yeah.
normal NPC. And I learned most of the things that were normal from past relationships, from
Right,
girlfriends,
exactly.
because
You
they're
get a
like,
little bit of
"Yo,
it.
match your socks with your shoes. Like, do this. Like, it's really simple stuff." But as a guy, you're so logical sometimes, like, and you just don't fucking think about it.
We're just like, I don't care. Like a
Yeah,
lot of guys,
yeah, you
it's
don't
like
give a
they don't
fuck.
care. Like I saw a guy that had wore like Sperry's and Nike socks
I got
all the way
roasted.
up here.
I got roasted for my underwear from my coworkers for like I want to
Underwear are
say at
important.
least a year. I was
Yeah.
working. I was like 24, 25, and like my coworkers, they all wore Calvin Kleins, and I wore like boxers, like the
Fruit of
regular
the
fucking boxers.
Loom?
Yeah, yeah, like just the regular boxers,
Like
like
the loose ones or
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
briefs?
yeah, the loose ones.
Oh,
Yeah, no, and
God.
my friends made fun of me all the time, and I was like, and I'd always talk shit. And I'd be like, look at my girlfriend, like fuck y'all, like I got a hot girl, like what are you talking about?
Yeah.
And they're like, bro, trust me, and I'm just like, nah, fuck you. But I disagreed for a long time because I was like, nah, I get girls, like you're fucking wrong.
Yeah.
But it was like, no,
It's just
they
that
were,
little
and
thing,
then once you do it, and
You
then you
can't go
get
back.
complimented. Oh my god, you're just like, wow, I
Yeah.
literally got complimented for this. Like this is true. This is actually a thing.
It's the attention to detail. It's little stuff.
It's the little stuff,
but not like because there is a like a line that you got to draw on some of this stuff, like almost borderline. I know we can't say it on here.
What? Go ahead, say it. What, like the man thongs?
Like borderline, kind of like gay. Like like borderline, kind of like
which
metro,
underwear is gay?
Metro, like not just underwear, but just like.
Oh yeah, if they take it too far, like too many
Yes,
things. Yes.
Like I've seen
Like
guys
having
that
to have
get their eyebrows like shaped, and I'm like,
nigga, you gay.
you have an arch in your eyebrow. Your eyebrows are better than mine. What the fuck?
I will say though, guys, like if I have really bushy eyebrows.
Get 'em
When I go to the
shaped.
barber, I do try to get them a little bit lined up a little bit.
Shaped, right?
Yeah,
To your
shaped,
natural
yeah.
like eye shape,
Yeah.
where it looks still like masculine.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about like they don't have any hair at all underneath the eyebrow. Like it looks like super like slick. I'm like, dang.
Yeah,
your
no.
eyebrow
But
like
guys, that is a good game though. Like when you go to your barber, ask them to just make your eyebrows look better. Like just say just make it look pretty. Yeah, it helps a lot. Let me think. What else? Y'all are some bitches for not wanting to call in. Are y'all scared? I think there's a lot of people that are scared to talk to a girl. That's pretty sad, guys. I'm really disappointed in all of y'all, especially anybody that's from the Discord that can't even come be social because we're trying to get y'all to be more social. Come on, guys. Let me think. What else though? Is there a preference as far as like a guy that likes sports? Is there a specific sport that you would like him to like? Like, do you like a specific sport? Do you like football or basketball or
No,
anything?
I have no idea about sports.
You know,
I'll participate. Like I'm going to a Super Bowl party this Sunday, and I'm going for snacks and
yeah,
like Rihanna
it's for the food.
and the halftime show and the commercials. I don't know anything about sports. I don't have a sports team affiliation. I'm just like,
That's
you
just
got
all
that.
you, buddy.
Yeah, exactly.
For your son, does he do any sports right now?
So he's
Or
played
Seven's not
soccer.
anything.
Yeah, soccer. He did like the little like basketball, like the little mini basketball league. And then they have like this thing where it's like a 8 week trial where they can try out like all different sports and see which
Oh,
ones
that's
they
cool.
like. Yeah, so like there was like tennis, like
Bro, why did they
volleyball.
have that when I was a kid? They
I
forced me to do soccer for like so long, and it's like I don't like this.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Let me
stop.
try something else,
Yeah, I
right?
fucking hate this shit, man. But
Yeah.
then I got older, and now I love soccer. Like now, like I love the World Cup
Like
and
you
stuff
have an
because
appreciation for
yeah,
it.
shit's
So
fucking dope.
yeah.
Oh,
We
look,
got
Jimmy.
somebody on the
What's
stream.
up? We got Jimmy, and let's go ahead and flip to him and see if he has a face. What's up, Jimmy? Do you got a face, or are you just here to just talk?
Just here to talk.
Just here to
Who's
talk.
gonna win the Super Bowl?
Right now. Can you turn it up just a little bit, Donnie? Thank you. Yeah, just here to talk. Can we look at your Instagram, bro, so we can get a look at how you are? You just trying to be
Negatives.
negative? Did you say negative?
Negative. I don't have an Instagram.
Okay, no
I just
Instagram.
want to know. I'm just here for the show.
You're just here for the show.
Yeah, I'm just here to listen. I just had a question about who y'all thought were gonna win the Super Bowl.
Here, yeah, go ahead and have a little date with her, bro, and ask her some questions. Who do you think's gonna win the Super Bowl? That's your first question.
I have no idea. I would have to look at the stats.
Okay.
Do you know who's playing?
Isn't it like the Philadelphia Eagles?
That's all that matters.
That's all.
And someone else?
My point exactly.
I don't know.
That's who's
Yeah.
gonna win.
What about you, Jimmy? Are you
Well,
muted?
obviously, I don't want the Eagles to win. So
Okay. I don't know who the other team is that's like playing.
the Chiefs, Patty Mahomes.
Chiefs, Kansas City?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know anything about either one of them. So.
So, Jimmy, are you trying to shoot your shot right now?
Not at all.
He's just coming on here for the show.
Not at all.
I was
Oh,
just trying
okay.
to give,
All right.
I was trying to give Sergio some content for my boy.
Hey man, I appreciate that, Jimmy. So well, I gotta at least know. Would you shoot your shot? Like what? So what's up? Like, would you ever shoot your shot with Indy?
If I wasn't married,
Why
sure.
wouldn't you?
Yes.
What did you say?
If I wasn't married, then yes.
If you weren't married?
I was just coming to support Sergio.
Oh man, I know who this is now. What's up? What's up, bro? Well, no, come on, bro. Like, even though you're married, you can still like, you gotta practice your game a little bit.
Everything she's
gotta practice.
everything she said so far that I've listened is great. She sounds like she's great ahead on her. She's got priorities. She takes care of her kids. So she sounds like a wonderful woman to get to know. For anyone that's out there trying to get to know someone.
That's why I brought her on. I honestly thought that like she's actually a really good catch. So I don't see why she won't get bagged up soon. We'll have to see.
But I've already found mine. I just wanted to kind of give some content on there. But yeah.
Thank you, bro.
Anyone
I
else
appreciate
listening to the show, y'all need to step your game, get up on here, quit being little pansies. You're not going to learn how to talk to women. You're not going to learn how to talk to women unless you shoot your shot. So just get out there and do your thing. But I'll turn it back over to y'all.
Thank you, Jim. And he's very right, guys. This is way easier than y'all having to fucking go out to restaurants and go out to places. This is way easier. You get to practice right here live on camera. You just might embarrass yourself just a little bit. No, it's not my next door neighbor, but it is a good homie, man. That shout out to you, Jim. I really appreciate you, bro. He's a really, really good friend that I've known for a long time, man. He's actually not as red pill as a lot of other people, or he's not very red pill. So I'm happy that he's still supporting, even though he's not very red pill person. Oh, let's kind of talk about that since my show is Purple Pod. What do you think about the guys in this kind of sphere, though? Like the guys that that they really want the traditional values and stuff like that. Like, do you think that you can match a guy that's that type of guy, or do you need a guy that's more 50-50 kind of guy?
When you say like 50-50, do you mean like financially?
Well,
Or,
just
like,
yeah, financially and in leadership, like it being an egalitarian relationship, like y'all kind of decide everything together versus like one person kind of being the leader on some things. Kind of like what how I kind of preach with my relationship, like complementarianism, like I'm 51%, I drive the car type stuff, or do you kind of want something that's really equal where y'all are like I don't know, where he's not a leader. I always like to preach that women want a man that's taller, faster, stronger, a leader. Is that what you want?
Yeah, I'm not into like the 50-50. I feel like I would have a very difficult time trusting someone's leadership that always feels the need to like consult me about everything. And that being said, it's just kind of like um, you are steering the boat, and I'm kind of like your person in the back to let you know, like, this is what's going on behind operations.
Boat's actually a good analogy, kind of, because like one person is steering, but one person still needs to move the sails, raise them, lower them,
Yeah.
and so that's like affecting the momentum of the boat while one person is steering the boat. And that is it's a good analogy for a woman because a woman really does affect the momentum of what a man is going to go through.
Right. And
Like y'all are gonna become successful very fast. I was actually thinking about this a lot lately. Like I'm gonna start telling the girls a lot if they really want to make a difference with their relationship or what would make their man really happy is them trying to save money in different ways, like being like, oh, we should do this. Like if my girl ever came to me and was like, oh, we should save money and like not go out this weekend, like we should do this instead, like we should do, like if she tries to like save me money, that's a huge deal because that's our future.
Right.
Like
She
so
looks at it long term and not just like the now. And I think that's kind of where I'm at.
because that's how I'm always thinking. So if
Yeah.
you prove to me that you're also thinking about the
Same
future,
lines,
then that
yeah.
makes me think, okay, you're not just trying to live in the moment right now.
Right.
But it's very rare to find that.
But it's looking at things from a longevity standpoint and not a like, oh, I just want to be dated. Like I just want to be pursued.
Yeah.
So that's why I care more about like long-term leadership skill set. Like, because the captain of a boat is not going to turn around every 5 seconds and be
Yeah.
like, hey,
Hey, do this.
yeah, like should I
Oh yeah,
should I go this way? Should I go that way? Like
You
what do
shouldn't have to
think?
tell somebody to do anything.
We're
It
gonna
should
hit a
be
fucking
natural.
rock. We're gonna
Yeah.
hit a rock.
It should be super natural and
Yeah.
everything should just be always be getting done. All right, but yeah, we got another person, Cameron. What's up, bro? Come on in.
What's up, man? Can you hear
Cameron,
me?
what's up, dude?
Yeah, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Do you have a camera or you're just good? You're just gonna do audio?
I'll just do audio.
Okay, that's cool. Is it cool if we check out your Instagram, bro?
Yeah, that's cool, bro.
Okay, we're gonna pull it up real quick on the other camera, so she can look at it and see if you're somebody that is in her line of work. Go ahead and tell us some more about you, bro. What do you do for work? Your age, your name.
Yeah, so my name's Cameron. I live in Plano. I'm 27. I work in like leave management. So like if your family member is sick, send me the doctor's paperwork and I approve or deny claims. Kind of claims. I've been doing that for a few years now. So that's what I do.
Okay, you are the same age.
Yeah.
What's your Instagram, really quick, so we can type it in?
It's the King Rain, Raine.
The King Rain. You found it? Yeah. Okay. All right. Man of God, new money, one of them ones, Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
Okay. Got the group of friends. That's something that you said you like.
Yeah.
Got
He's
guy
got
friends.
other guy friends.
Got lots of
Yeah.
guy friends. You are both the same age. Yeah,
Okay.
no, good profile, bro. Very active life.
Do you have any kids?
No, I don't have any kids.
Okay. How do you feel about kids?
I mean, I'm a very self-respecting man, so I feel like I wouldn't be able to take someone with kids seriously. But that's kind of where I'm at with kids.
You wouldn't be able to take it seriously, you said?
Yeah, no, I just couldn't take care of another man's kids. I just couldn't see myself doing that.
Okay.
Interesting. So when you say taking care of another man's kids, like essentially, like what do you mean? Like, do you mean like if the dad is like a deadbeat or something? Like, what are you saying when you say taking care of another man's kids?
Like, I mean, if we were together, then we'd like the kids. You said you have one kid, right?
No, I have 3. I was married.
Oh, okay, you're married. Okay, yeah. So, then the kids, I'd have to, so we'd have to essentially have the kids all together in the same place. So, I mean, I'd be like, I think I'm being taken care of, like looking after them. I think that's a father's responsibility. So I wouldn't want to infringe on, what, um, like like he's like the main, the kids look up to the father, right? Like I'm like a kind of impromptu father figure. See what I'm saying?
You're saying it's like not your responsibility to be the dad's kind of.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. And like, would I be able to
Okay.
discipline the kids? There's like a lot of stuff that goes into that.
Yeah, how does that work? How does discipline work with the another guy coming in?
I think that if you're married, like they become the stepfather, then I believe that he has equal right and opportunity and say, because essentially, like, I'm not head of my household anymore. He is,
Okay.
So like, I believe in that. Like,
Okay.
at that point, I take up behind my husband.
Okay.
So
I can respect that.
So it sounds like you're okay with having a man lead.
yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like, even though I've been like married and stuff, I'd say I'm like still traditional. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not out here like.
Yeah. She's not a baby mama. She was married when she had her kids, and then so at least she's not a baby mama.
Oh, okay. All three of them.
Oh yeah, for all 3 of them, were you married or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of
Yeah.
my kids were in wedlock.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
got
okay.
married at 18 years old. Like, I graduated from high school, and like a couple of months later, I got married.
Just a little.
Like 6 months later, I got married.
Oh, okay. I got
Do you have any other questions for her, Cameron?
What did you do for work again? I'm sorry, I didn't catch that earlier.
So I'm an engineer. So I'm a network engineer, and then I also just opened my own business. So
Okay.
I own an IT consulting firm for small to mid-sized businesses.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's cool. Okay.
I
Yeah.
appreciate you, bro. Do you have anything else that like you think that you'd want to ask? Do you think that you'd ever even take her on a date, even though, or is it just like an automatic no because she has the kids?
I mean, I can see myself hanging out with her, like on casually, but I don't think that's what she's looking for, right? It's not what you're looking for.
No, I don't casually date.
Okay, gotcha.
Date
Yeah.
with intention.
I do,
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah, no. No, I appreciate you at least for coming and being honest, bro, and just kind of like expressing like your side of it, I guess. No, thank you, man. We really appreciate you for coming.
Yeah, no problem. Hope you have a good night.
Yeah, you too, bro. We'll
All right,
see you later.
peace.
Nah, anybody else who wants to call in, come on. She needs somebody that she's gonna actually end up going on a date with. I wonder the last girl how many she. I didn't ever message her, but I know that she got a lot of messages. But I don't know how many guys ended up going like on an actual date with her. I'm not sure how many it was. I've always and guys, can somebody please from chat go on the Twitch and see if the Twitch stream even works. I don't even know if it fucking works. Like I've never even pulled this up on Twitch to see if it even works. It'd be really funny if I thought it was working this whole time and it's not even working. Um, so I want to know also, um, did I know you're probably making good money or you're going to make good money at your job. How big of a deal is that going to be for the guy that you talk to? Like, are you going to turn down a guy because he's not making a certain income?
I think it's not about the certain.
Here, talk closer.
Sorry, I don't think it's about like the certain income necessarily. I think that it's more so about what he does with his money. Like,
Yeah,
how
because he can make
financially-
60K, but he puts all of it to he maxes his 401K.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is way better than the guy who makes 100K, but he doesn't even have 1% done.
And like no assets. He's all liability. Like you make
Yeah.
$100,000 a year, but you buy VVS chains and you pop bottles every weekend.
Yeah.
Like, so it's kind of like, where are you putting your money long term?
Okay, so that is like a big priority for you.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, and we got another person who came in. JD. Let's see. Yeah, we got a camera this time. What's up, JD?
Hello.
What's up, bro? Yeah, I'll let y'all start your day. You can go ahead and start and just ask her some questions, bro.
Okay. Not kind of like start, kind of like you don't. If you go to start, what we
Oh man, it was cutting out
Yeah,
like
I'm like, it's
every.
literally pixelizing, so I
It
can't.
was like every other second. It was like, uh, uh. I think it's your internet connection. If you're able to put it on Wi-Fi, it might be able to help you out a lot. I think you're asking about her Starbucks drink, though, about what she gets at Starbucks. Is that what you're asking? Yeah, I think it's the Wi-Fi, man. If you're able to connect with Wi-Fi, it'd probably be better.
like.
That
I
was
mean,
funny. Try here. Try again. Talk.
working.
Donnie, is it still messed up?
Can you hear us?
Hey, can you hear us?
Uh, is it going?
Yeah, it's still messing up, man.
Yeah, I'm not sure if you got a headset. This whole stream actually works a lot better if you're talking through like a headset, headphones, or something.
Yeah, if you have
Um,
headphones, it works way better, man.
I'm going to do.
Yeah, see if you can fix
Yeah.
it and then come back.
Appreciate you joining though.
Yeah, thank you,
Problem.
bro. Yeah, I wanted to kind of go back to something else that we were talking about, like the red pill stuff. Do you think that like you could see yourself being with a guy from like you went on the Peep Show a lot and stuff, so you know how like some of those guys are arguing points and like what their preferences are and stuff like that. Do you see yourself being with somebody with those kinds of preferences, or do you see yourself kind of ending up with a guy that's the opposite, like not even one of these type of guys at all, like he's just a kind of a normal guy, you know?
Yeah, so when you say like
Talk closer to the mic.
when you say like red pill, do you mean like
These misogynistic men.
yeah, no. I feel like they wouldn't even like most of them don't even like once they hear 3 kids, they run for the fucking hills. And
Yeah.
I'm not in the business of trying to convince anyone of my value or like what I bring to the table as a woman because like I feel like yes, I have children, but like there are women out here with literally no children who are fucked up.
Yeah.
And they're like whores.
Yeah.
And they have no value or no moral compass. And they care more about like what you do for them than actually being like an asset to a man.
Yeah.
And so for me, I feel like those kind of guys, they want this unicorn woman, kind of.
Yeah.
Like,
No, yeah, they really do. Well, the thing is, they want the unicorn woman, but they're not the unicorn guy. Like, I
right.
can understand almost striving for it's just like the girls who call themselves tens, but they like look like fours or fives, and it's just like, man,
Right.
your expectations are crazy through the roof because of how you perceive yourself.
Right. So I've seen like a lot, especially like when I have gone on like the Manosphere like podcasts or things like that. It's like I've gone to some of the guys' profiles who are like commenting some of this shit, and I'm like, dude, you're literally like you're a loser.
Yeah, you
Like
should not be
you
talking.
are definitely like a keyboard warrior. Like
Yeah.
this is your space to talk shit and like voice your very extreme opinion. But like if we were like in a room together, he probably wouldn't say like any of the stuff that he's saying. He would probably be trying to like get my number or
Yeah.
talk to me.
Yeah, it's just because the internet is so toxic, man.
Right.
Something that Jordan Peterson always talks about is how like the internet needs to have a thing where everybody has a verified account. Like nobody can be a troll in like a random like black account. You know, like you have to always be connected to who you really are, and it would stop a lot of people from being stupid.
Right, exactly. So I feel like the internet has given guys this space to have like a red pill like mindset or like a misogynistic mindset, but like they're damn near like what we were talking about last time, like incels. Like they
Yeah.
have no social skills when it actually comes to like courting and dating a woman. And 9 times out of 10, like if they really said those things to attractive women, like fit, friendly, and all these feminine women in real life, the women would be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. This is something that I've learned a lot lately because I'm trying to give better advice for the girls, you know, on the show. And this girl who's a red pill girl came on the show, Torsha, and she was shout out to Torsha. She was talking about how It's really opposite. Like y'all do need to make men wait, but y'all aren't going to end up with these red pill guys. But that's probably actually a good thing because y'all just won't match them anyways. Like,
Right. There's too much conflict.
well, like if you go to Red Pill Women on the subreddit Red Pill Women, the women are nothing like, and they talk about all the time on there. None of them would ever date an actual red pill guy. Like they're actual opposites in a lot of things. But it's really funny because they're both traditional conservative.
Hey, we got JD back.
All right, yeah, we got JD back. Bring it on in.
Hello.
All right, it looks a little better.
Okay, y'all can hear me?
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
better.
perfect.
Yeah, way better,
Okay.
bro. Yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead and start your date, man. Ask her a question.
So I didn't got just to hear like about the drink. Like, what's your favorite drink? Your Starbucks.
Oh, what am I drinking from Starbucks?
Your
Yeah.
favorite drink.
So I always end up getting either hot or cold espresso, and then I get like a flavor of syrup, and then I get oat milk.
Ooh, nice.
So I always customize my drink because I don't like a lot of like sugar. So
Yes. When I go to Starbucks, I get like this. I don't know. You heard of it? Called a medicine ball. It had
yeah, I
like
love
yeah.
balls.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. That's like the
Yes.
one with like the peppermint tea in it and like something else, right? It's got like a minty flavor.
Like you can get it,
Hmm.
but I put in like green tea with ginger with lemon. Yes.
Okay. So would you
Um.
say like you drink a lot more tea over like coffee?
Yes. When I was younger, I drank a whole bunch of tea. No, when I was younger, I've been drinking a whole bunch of coffee. Then I got tired of coffee, so I moved towards tea than anything else.
Okay.
Yes. So so are you? I think I heard that you like some exercising. So if let's say we go on a date and I say, hey, let's go on the gym, will you join me?
So this is actually funny. I don't believe in like working out with men. I feel like our
Hmm.
physique is completely different. So a lot of the time, like what you might be targeting in the gym is probably different than what I'm targeting in the gym. Like we could go to the gym um together,
Yeah.
but I feel like we probably wouldn't actually work out together because you're gonna probably want to lift, and I'm more like
Yeah.
cardio based, you know?
I mean,
So
yeah, of course. It's just a motivation type of thing because I believe that we had to motivate each other, especially I'm more make sure the person I'm with is good, but at the same time, I can't make sure that person's good if I'm not good. I'm not setting the example.
yeah, so you're saying like actually like being consistent in the gym and things like that?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I feel like
yeah,
go ahead.
yeah. I mean, not necessarily um going to the gym. It's like something outdoor, like walking or jogging. Had that mindset because I'm more had a mindset on being better than yesterday or last year type of thing.
Yeah, I agree. So I think like what you just said, like a neutral ground for that versus like saying like, oh, hey, let's like go to the gym. Let's go on like a hike. Or like,
Mhm.
hey, let's go on like what you said, like a walk or like a run or something. Or take like a workout class together that you might both mutually be interested in.
Okay, right. So, um, I don't mean to be in your business, but you can like kind of sugarcoat it. So, what ended your last relationship? What like took the cake?
What do you mean? Like, why did I end up divorced?
Yes.
There was domestic violence and an outside child, not on
Oh,
my end. Yeah.
no, I don't condone that the domestic violence towards a woman because to me that's a pussy move. Excuse my language, but let me see. Do you believe
So
in extradition? Go ahead.
huh? No, I was saying I actually don't believe in divorce,
Mm.
except for essentially what like God says that we can get a divorce for. which is
Yeah.
cheating.
I mean, yeah. I believe if you work things, I don't believe in divorce. I believe in working things out. But if it is something like that, domestic violence, and that's, be like okay to get divorced.
Hmm.
Yeah. But I'm
Or
more,
like,
go ahead.
huh? No, I was saying, or like infidelity. So like directly like one of the things that God speaks about in the Bible, which I don't know if you're religious or not. Like I have no idea what
I
your
am
religious affiliation is. Are you Christian?
spiritual.
Okay, so when you say like spiritual, um, like do you believe in just like one higher being?
I
Like,
mean,
do you believe?
I believe in God, Jesus, but I through the years, I kind of I won't say I look from the outside in of Christians, the type of people that are around, they be more judgmental toward other people, and it's like why even though God said don't only no one can judge but Him, other people, other Christians judge other people, but they be more godly. They trying to be more godly. Like that's why I kind of be more spiritual than Christian on the Christian side.
Okay. And what do you do for a living?
So I am a hangars maintenance at Dallas Love Field Airport.
I
I
have no idea.
uh, I work at the airport in Dallas.
Okay. So
Yeah,
like long term, do you see yourself sticking to that like career field?
and
Or like
no,
is that no? Okay.
no.
Long term, what
I
is something go ahead.
long term on my own businesses. Trying to get my comedy uh page up and running. On the meantime, I want to do other businesses, like try to start up a couple businesses. I know long term, I would say I starting to learn code, computer science. I'm doing that. I'm starting that. I really started that a couple of months ago. So, but at the same time, I'm trying to do my comedy, trying to do my calling.
Did you say comedy? Like when you say
Yeah.
like comedy, you mean like stand up?
No, comedy as in make videos like YouTube, more on Instagram.
Joke. Can you tell me a joke? Like do you have any like jokes that you like
I
get on
mean,
there and
I don't have jokes. When I did have a YouTube channel, I do like my best ones was like meme tweets or like me tweets parodies or my I would say story time from my past experience.
so you're not like on here like wearing a wig, like like playing both like the female, like you see that a lot in like the like IG skits and stuff now. Like the guys will get like the wigs and they'll put them on and they'll like pretend to be like a girl. They'll be like,
Fun. Okay, go
and then
ahead.
they'll turn around and be the guy again. Like you don't do that, right?
No, no, I don't do that per se, but I do have a character called DJ Fury Cat. If if Sergio could pull it up, he could. I have some videos, and I could show you if you don't mind.
What we can pull up your IG.
We're gonna
If you
watch
got
a
an IG,
Yeah,
video. Yep. Let's
yeah,
watch one. Watch one. Okay.
yeah. Let me.
what's the video on YouTube or?
IG
He said DJ.
Fury Cat is I am DJ.
One second. DJ Fury Cat.
I
Yes,
think he said on Instagram. It's not on
yeah,
YouTube, right? It's only on
right.
Instagram.
Is on Instagram.
Oh, okay, gotcha. All right, let me go ahead and make sure I share my
He's
screen.
trying to share it right now.
Is this
Yes,
you right here?
yes.
Okay, cool.
Oh, you wear a cat.
Yes.
You wear a cat head?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Hold on, we gotta play one of these videos.
Play the video. What?
You like a guy that dances, Indy?
Yes.
Is that a TikTok challenge dance?
I think he's creating a challenge.
Are you
No,
on TikTok
I'm,
too?
yes, I am, but it's I prefer not to show that. But
Okay.
yes,
So like, is these the same dance moves you go like if you take somebody out dancing? Do you do these same
uh,
dance moves?
it's just random.
This a robe?
Yes.
Okay, where did you find this cat head at? Like, did you just search on like Amazon, like
No,
giant furry cat head? Where did you
no.
find this?
The funny thing about it is, I used to work at Walmart,
Okay.
and about, let's say, 7 years ago, I
I'm
saw it.
fucking dying.
I saw it, and I was I'm gonna definitely gonna buy it, but I was like, no. If I seen it again that same day, I want to buy it. So I
Okay.
had
So
that.
like I see on here that you have your body out in some pictures. So like, how do you feel about a woman like exposing her body on social media?
To be honest, I against it. But if she but that's really a discussion that we had to make. Is I mean, I'm really against it because I feel that most women can get DM more by showing their body, and that's the best risk for me versus me showing my chest out and don't get no DM.
Gotcha. But you're doing it for the views though, right? So essentially
I
you're
mean,
exposing your body for views, right?
no, not really. I'm just being the whole purpose of DJ Fear Cat is
Mm-hmm.
just me just enjoying, like being
Life.
silly, yeah, being silly, yeah, enjoy life, but at the same time, it be like my cool, quirky, cool side.
Gotcha. So what is your like cultural background? Like where's your family from?
My mom from Dallas, me and my brother from Houston.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah,
Hey, no, thank you. Big shout out to Neo Moses for the new member, bro. I really appreciate you for signing up for membership, bro. Please, can we get some Rod X's in chat? Yeah, let's get some Rod X's in chat, man. Shout this guy out, Rod X's. That's the new emote that I just added, guys. If I get 3 more members since he just came, if I get 3 more members, I get to add another emote. So please get me 3 more memberships so I can add another emote. I don't know what we're gonna add next, maybe a red pill or a blue pill or something. But yeah,
yes,
sorry, I just had
support
to go for that.
Sergio.
You can go ahead and ask your another question. And thank you for your membership, bro. I think you're one of the members. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you.
Yes, no, I mean, no problem. Um, so, so define a leader. Like, what is your preference of a leader? I
What is my
mean,
preference for the leader?
yeah, I mean, what is your definition of I apologize?
I'm sorry, what?
What is your definition? Because most girls
Definition
or women
of it.
have different expectations.
So when I'm looking at like um I'm not gonna say partner because I hate that word, but like my man, when I
Thank
think
you.
about my
Thank you.
man, um and his leadership traits, um I would just say I had to watch like his consistency in his own life. So like his plans, his consistency, um, not necessarily his words, but his action. I feel like men are more action based creatures. So to me, there's nothing that's more of like a big red flag than a guy who does a lot of talking and not a lot of moving.
Right.
So you can always tell like if a guy is really serious about himself by his consistency. So like, is he doing something to move his body every day? Um, what is he doing to educate himself or prepare himself to be a husband and a leader and someone who essentially takes on a household? Because that's what a husband is supposed to do, is to take the woman and the children under his sleeve. So what is he doing to in preparation while he's single, while he's in his season of singleness, to prepare himself for that?
Right. Right. Okay. Do you prefer hanging out with your girl trip? How do you feel about girl trip? Are you rather
Uh,
staying at home with your man, or you want to be able to go out with your friends?
so I've never been on a girls trip. Fun fact. I've never been on a vacation, and I've never been on a girls trip.
Not a vacation either. Wow.
No,
Never been
I
flown
don't.
out.
No, I don't let guys fly me out. Like, no, I've never even left the state to like go meet someone else, like, or like anything. No. Um, and I also I don't have like what is that? Like, I've never had like a girls trip. So like I'll do girls night or like go to brunch or like dinner with my friends. But yeah. I feel like when
Okay.
you're in a relationship, it's about the boundary of it. So like as long as it's done in good taste.
All right. Um, let me
So
see.
JD, do you have any last questions for Indy here? We got somebody else in the chat
Okay.
or in the stream.
No, no, I don't have any more questions.
All right, Indy, you got a question for JD?
I don't. Good
All right.
luck with your DJ Fury Cat.
Yeah, dude. Thank you so much for coming on, JD. We really appreciate you, bro. It takes a lot of balls to come on here and actually, do these dates. As we can see, it's really hard for a lot of guys to want to come do it. So we really appreciate you, bro. You did really good. Everybody
Well,
go check out his Instagram too, and go support his Instagram and go follow it. DJ Fury Cat. Yeah, everybody go look it up. Thank you,
thank
bro.
you. Oh, you welcome.
And just really quick, shout out to Soulzilla for the membership, bro. I really appreciate you. We get some Rod X's in the chat. Thank you, bro, so much for that membership. We only need 2 more now to get a new emoji. Thanks to Neo Moses and Soulzilla. I think Moses is actually about to come in for the next date. Yeah, this is about to be dope.
All
Let's
right.
see, Moses. Let's pull you in.
Whoa. What is good,
What's
guys?
up, bro? Thank you for becoming a member, bro. Thank you
Hey,
for coming onto the show too, man.
hey, show my support. Y'all are killing the game in Dallas. I love the show. You guys are definitely giving content for a lot of places we don't speak on, especially with dating and the times we're in. So I appreciate you, though. Appreciate you, bro.
Bro, I appreciate you, man. Yeah, go ahead with your date, bro. Ask her some questions.
Yeah, Indy, come on. We already know. What's good?
Hello, how are
I
you?
am great.
You found me
Um,
on Lapeef, so he
Lapeef.
actually found me on Lapeef, and we
Oh,
follow each other on social media.
Yeah.
We've exchanged numbers,
how
texts and
crazy!
stuff. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, she been busy and I've been busy, so we haven't really talked as much. But I thought let me just use the opportunity to see how she is on here versus in person, because that would have been the case. But we would just use this for the opportunity, right? So, Indy, I was hearing you talk to another date, but I won't use that question with X. I personally want to ask you how you been on your journey so far with your career. How's that been for you working on that?
It's been great. So I feel like my career has been super smooth. I feel
Hmm.
like I'm in a place of kind of like building more networking and like relational um, like basis here in Dallas locally. So yeah, I feel like it's been really good.
Nice.
Thank you for asking.
Yeah, no problem. I heard you started a business. I want to say congratulations, kudos to you for that.
Thank
That's
you.
awesome. I know you can't hear that too many times with people going through a situation, getting the business started with a situation before that was going through your life. I understand stuff happens, but I just want to commend you for that. I'm very proud of you. But also, I want
Thank
to
you.
also
I really appreciate that.
yeah, yeah, no, for real. You got my support. I definitely want to support you on that side. But being in that area when you're working in, How do you feel with the idea of homeschooling your children?
Yeah, absolutely. So, my children, actually, two of them are in private school, and the other one, he started out in private school as well. I feel like I'm not the best fit to educate my children because I have a biased viewpoint on education and certain things. And the idea of education is to give your child an umbrella or a spectrum of things so then they can have a basis for like a building block to build upon. So, like, for instance, my 7-year old, he's really into STEM, but then you've got like my daughter, and she's more on the creative side. So if she has more of a healthy foundation from like an education standpoint, that's not necessarily like biased by like standardized state testing and these expectations of like 20 to 25 kids in a classroom where the teacher is just going through the motions, um, versus they have this like foundational education, and then we can focus in on their strengths and their viewpoints and like the things that they're good at and build from there. So
Okay.
I'm more of a private school person.
So like charter school, private school kind of
Yeah,
area, right?
charter school, private school, STEM programs, programs that focus in on like um, your child's gifts and their strengths.
Okay. So you have done the cost of how much would that be over time with the pricing? Because I know it goes up over time when you get kids in these systems.
Hmm.
The reason why I've asked that, and also homeschooling, because I don't know if you heard about the whole statistics, but I'm not saying to rush in to talk about kids, but the thing is, I think is even you're a Christian, you're right. You say you're a Christian.
Hmm.
Okay. So with that being said, I think if you do desire to be married, which I think you are not a bad candidate, I think you have the right mindset and also the great personality. I think you can carry that role pretty well, especially when I bring you around my boss in the dinner party and they be like, "Oh my God, this is your wife, Indy." They will love you. I already know that for a fact, especially family wise. They will all love you. But I'm thinking like legacy as when we pour into these children, I'm really focusing on knowing that part because I know working is a big part of what you're doing right now, especially single mother. Um, I think if you consider those, I think you could definitely excel in the area as a mother who's at home. In my personal opinion, I think you can. I just think the fear of not teaching them the right things is not the case. I think you just got to understand there's help in those areas with many homeschool co-ops. I've studied it. I know this whole thing. I've done that talk with other women and men. I'm not going to share my pot on here because that's not my place because so you got a show, so respectful to him. I interviewed people about that, and I think if you do ever consider looking into it, I think that would be considerable for the kids because I think your babies, they're worth that. I think they're worth it, and I think if you already have a business, the biggest thing was the man providing for you. You want to pour into these children while they're small, even if you don't have the time now, but in the later time. Look, I think family is a big part of the whole thing of life, and I really want to see that for you. And I do want to, if I see that for me with you, I'm definitely going to put that work in and give you that opportunity to be around them more. That will suffice so much more, and to keep them away from things that will come into their life that you probably experienced. They don't have to fall for that same trap. You see what I'm saying?
So I think for me, and I receive that fully. I really appreciate you taking the time to share that
No
perspective
doubt,
and
no doubt.
viewpoint for sure. Um, I think for me, that's essentially kind of what I did. So
Okay,
everything in my life up to this point, career wise, like I'm retired from the military.
right. I
So like
remember.
if I never wanted to work another day in my life,
No
I
woman
don't
wants
have to.
to. No, no, none of y'all want to.
But
Let's be real.
so with that level of passive income being generated from me serving my time in the military in exchange for said benefits long term, I feel like it has opened up a place for me to be more maternal towards my children and actually like be there to pick them up from things or participate in things, focus in on their strengths. They can sit there and come and show me they're like my son, he builds stuff on like Roblox or like
Mm.
Minecraft because that he's really into like engineering, like ingenuity. So I do have said time to like pour into him versus if I were consumed with a job um, that I had to go in all the time. I have a boss that I have to essentially like submit myself to. in
Right. That.
exchange for a paycheck. Right. So I
Yeah.
feel like I kind of have, even though I'm in a season of singleness, I have aligned myself with long term what the family structure would look like as far as still remaining feminine and allowing myself to be maternal to my kids.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I understand. I think there's more in you. I think there's more in you from God. I think you do have a blessing on your life to be able to have this opportunity to create a business, and I think that will always be the case because America given this opportunity. But what do you desire actually? What do you see yourself in 10 years and in this time? And no, I'm not saying 10 years. What do you see yourself in 5 years from now?
Yeah, absolutely. So, right now I'm focusing in on investing. So it's not always about how much money you make. It's essentially about where you're putting your money. And as we know, like Social Security and these things are like pretty much obsolete at this point. So for me, I would hate to die
Mm,
or God forbid my future spouse pass, and you always see it like the mother really struggles to take care of or provide the lifestyle that the father has provided because he was the covering. So essentially aligning up a legacy um, for the children because ultimately they're the most important
yeah,
factor. They're what's left behind when we're gone.
exactly.
So building a legacy for my children.
Do you have any female mentors in your life?
I do.
How many you got?
I have one that's married,
Nice.
um, and then I have one that's in the same kind of career field I am in. And I
Awesome.
also have a male mentor who is also an engineer, and he's been an educator in the field for like 20 plus years. And so, career wise, he gives me a lot of things that most men gatekeep
Yeah.
because they have lack of respect for women in the workspace.
That's true. Unfortunately, that is very big. That's a true thing you're saying. I definitely think that's good to have those people who are your mentors. I really think a woman should have that, and I think you having that can tell me more about you because women don't like accountability, like they say these days. I like seeing accountability with women and men, but for women, of course, I want to see that for their life, especially if I'm going to lead them. I got to see who's leading you. You know, not these artists, not these celebrities, because if I was to consider you, which I would definitely consider you because I think I know you well enough before this purple pill, um, I think you definitely have the right mindset for a wife role. I just think with these times, we just have to take our time to really know each other well. I don't think it should take long, less than 8 to 6 months, to know if a woman's married material. You know what I'm saying? Because you already know I don't have kids, and I was formerly married, which I'll share. Of course, not a big deal. It was only for the time being. That was what it was. But I know what it takes, and I know your story enough to know what you went through, and I know you don't want to not go through that again, and I don't want to go through that again. You know, it just depends on what you want now. What do you think you deserve now versus what you went through now? Not what you went through, but what do you think you deserve based on what you've understood now about men? What do you think you deserve now? What you've been praying for? What do you think?
Like when you say what I deserve, because
Yeah.
deserving is always kind of a tricky word for me because I feel like
Mm,
no human is necessarily just deserving of anything. Do I think that we are favored in certain ways by the basis of like,
yeah.
how we lead our life or our faith and stuff like that? So I would say when I look at like the person that I'm supposed to be with, the things that and the attributes that I would that are like non-negotiables for me is like healthy communication,
Mm,
boundaries, um, respect for me as your helper. I wouldn't say like I
mm.
don't believe in partnership
Oh,
in
okay.
marriage. I don't
Ooh,
I hate hearing the word partner. So
okay.
but
Understood.
respect for me enough as like like the helping hand or the person to, so things like that, just respect. Um, I feel like a man who respects and loves his wife doesn't put his wife in morally compromising positions in the first place. Um, so, like his character and the way that he leads things. So, this leads me into asking you a question actually. What would you say are like your three top attributes that make you a man of character?
First three things. First is honesty. That's a big pet peeve of mine is being honest. I don't care what your past was like, which I care in a sense, but I do care what you honestly been through to know where you're at now, to know what can I work with what I know. Because honestly, everybody's been through something, right? Even my life, I'm not perfect either. So I'll share and I'll be honest, but I won't take everything to say I'm perfect, right? Honesty will be one of the biggest things as a man. I feel like we men should have to carry that in this next chapter of life of relationships and marriage. Second, would say is I would say you gotta really have provision as a man. You gotta have vision because if you have a vision, how are you gonna lead someone towards the vision if you don't have a vision? And that's provision. Men don't really carry that too many times. They carry about the more of they care about the superficial things that make a woman feel good, but versus what really is important in the long run. Like what I said about 5 year plan, because men should always have a plan. So I would say provision would be my second one. And last but not least would be faith. Who are you gonna fall back on? Last but not least, faith. You gotta have faith in God. You know, how can you walk with somebody and not agree with the same views of what God says in the Word of God? The Bible's very clear about us. We have to be not unequally yoked. You see what I'm saying? I don't look for perfection in any woman, but I think the woman should have an understanding of her purpose and understand failure because no one has a perfect story. You can't tell me your story is a new, unique story. It happened to others out there, but you know what though? Your life is different because you're understanding the situation, but not let it change you for the worse. But you got better, which is what is more commendable for a woman like yourself. I think women like yourself, because I'm gonna tell you something you don't know. Kevin Samuel said something. I'm not trying to drop his name for no comments or nothing like that. He said something about this too, and I know he said this. 'Cause I remember he talked about mothers have more understanding of the game in the sense of relationship, but more of those single ladies who are with children, they actually understand about the relationship to give a better perspective to get a man to tie down for an opportunity for marriage, and not tie down as a lockdown with a kid. But I'm saying get a man of quality if she knows how to carry herself to get that quality because you already know what men are looking at already. Just have to carry yourself a certain way and be what you say you are, but not just a chameleon. Be it, don't just say it. You see what I'm saying? So the three things I mentioned, first one was honesty, second was provision, and third was faith. Those are my visions as a man.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you? The same question. Well, what are those three things for you as a woman that you carry that's important to you?
I would say like my femininity. I feel like when women lose
Mm.
track of their what essentially makes them a woman, especially in today's time, it's very easy to get caught up in what society tells us that a woman is supposed to look like, or following beauty trends, which is always funny to me because it comes from other women. And those are the things that kind of um, disqualify a lot of women without them realizing. Like we hear always the like natural versus like unnatural debate and certain things like that. Things that kind of take us out of our femininity and take us out of the essence of like what what God created us for and intended us to be, which is to be like maternal. I think that a lot of what I wouldn't say like pride myself on, but like I really succeed in is remaining like feminine in adversity.
Okay.
So, like a lot of women, when they're faced with certain adversity or things might not be going their way or they're failing in their leadership, they lack compassion and nurturing towards their man. And their immediate response is to either fight or flight. So, they
Right.
either run to another man or they want to fight their man and be combative and tear him down
Mm.
versus having compassion. And I feel like you just get further with those things.
Right.
Um, the other thing is just, I would say like humility. I have accomplished a lot, but I still am very grounded. Like, I don't put myself in a high value box or like what you said, like feeling like I'm deserving of a certain type of anything. because I've reached certain like career accolades or
Mm.
certain things in my life that I've accomplished. So
And the three, can you repeat? You said that was the third one or the second one?
no, that was the second one. And
Okay.
then the third one, of course, is definitely um, again too same thing, my faith. So
Okay.
like
Good.
just trusting in what God's vision, plan, and where He ultimately wants my life to go. Like this last year, every year I usually have this really long to-do list of things that I want to accomplish for the year. And the whole month of January I spent praying and easing into the new year. So like I didn't just jump straight into like what my next goals were going to be. I kind of just prayed, and then in the month of February I opened myself back up again to actual plan. And like the tech conference,
Nice.
I just literally just got invited to that like last week, and this was
Okay.
like something huge for me.
Nice.
And then like next month I have certain things, so I feel like just relying heavily on God's plan and vision for my life. And I feel like my husband's gonna find me. I don't feel like that's something that I'm gonna have to go like just
Of course.
searching for. As long as I remain in my feminine energy, my femininity, and continue along the same path that I'm going, I feel like my husband is going to find me. He's going to say, you know what? There's something about Indy. There's something in her. She makes me a better man. I want to marry her.
Yeah. Oh,
Men
that's
know
good.
when they've found their wives. So I'm
Yeah.
not convincing anyone to marry me or
No,
date.
and that's the real truth you just said. You don't want to be finding the man. You should not be pursuing. You should be presenting yourself ready. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
He who finds a wife finds a good thing.
Finds a good
See what I'm
thing,
saying?
right?
Yeah, be that good thing. Don't ever chase no man because that's the thing that women can present themselves, but don't go drop the hanky. No one does that no more. That's a classic stuff. Let's be real. They don't no ladies like that. But if you do that, trust me, the brothers who are very traditional will always notice that. And of course, I'm traditional myself because, like I said, I was married. My ex was at home. The thing is, I know how that is. I just think we have to understand the value is men want to be traditional family men no matter what society says. We want you ladies like yourself not working for nobody, work for yourself, work for our family. You should be under me. The boss should be me. I'll hire you because you're my wife, right? Why would you want to work for someone else to make them rich? You know what I'm saying? That's how they divide us. Like Sergio, he made a good point about that in the past. And I like what he said because it's very true. We as men and women come together is better versus alone. So I think the best we can do is just continue to grow, and I think for you also, I think it's good that you're doing this show. I'm actually happy you're on here. I didn't know you was gonna come back. So, but I know it's a day, but I'm just saying it's good to see you doing this, and I'm actually happy that you're all doing well. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Any other questions for me that you got?
I don't have any.
Okay.
I appreciate you.
Yeah, Moses, thank
Definitely.
you so much for coming on, bro. You did really fucking good. You're a good example for other guys to learn how to be confident and how to keep a conversation going, bro. Your flow was really good. I
Thank you.
really appreciate you for coming on. This is exactly what I want is examples like this, and you killed it, bro. Yeah, hopefully, yeah, if y'all ever have something going on, maybe there'll be another date or something.
You got a cat
Yeah.
head in there somewhere? Like
Nah,
underneath the
nah,
computer?
no cast.
No?
I'm not doing no.
No?
I don't even like
You
No.
put
cast.
it on and dance around it? No?
Look,
Okay.
when we get past and we get the ring, then maybe we'll do that.
Oh, okay.
We'll
Yeah,
put more
no,
than
thank
cat
you,
hats.
bro.
Yeah, for sure.
No, we got somebody else here waiting to come on too. But yeah, thank you so much, bro. We'll catch you on. We're gonna do this every Wednesday from now on. So if you want to come and teach some more guys how to do good, hopefully we'll
Yeah,
have another lady for you next time. That's a good talk, a good conversation.
for sure.
Appreciate you, bro. Peace out, man. All right, yeah, let's get this other guy added in. Glenn Lawrence. Glenn Lawrence. He doesn't got some video. Or he got some video. What's up, bro?
Yo, how you guys doing? Hold on, let me set up my camera right. There we go.
You
Move
got
some
good
things around.
audio, bro. It sounds good.
Well, yeah, I
Your
mean,
camera looks good too.
I
Drive a
kind of did this
car or wait?
podcasting thing from time to time. So,
Okay. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Go ahead and start your day. It looks like a bass. It's a 4 string. Yeah, it's a
yeah,
bass. Yeah.
the bass. Yeah, this is jamming
Yeah,
out.
go ahead and ask her some questions, bro.
Yeah, so you say you're traditional and you have Christian values. What is your thoughts on submission and deferment?
You said submission, and what was the last part?
Deference.
Deference.
Yeah.
So when you say deference,
Talk closer to the mic.
when you say deference, can you kind of like elaborate that for me? I'm familiar with submission, but I don't think I've heard.
Okay, let's just start with submission. Like, what is your view and understanding of submission? How would you define it?
So I would essentially say that submission is choosing to relinquish free will. Not free will, but just like trusting someone enough to have the capability to choose a certain way. It's kind of like our faith in God, right? We ultimately, He gives us free will, but we choose to submit our lives to Him because of His sacrifice. And so I kind of look at like when your man chooses you, it's the same thing. Like you see something in him noble and worthy enough to, even though you could choose to stay single or choose to go down a different path or do what you want to do, ultimately you trust and admire his leadership enough to get behind his plan, his vision, and what he wants for the two of you.
Yeah, see, I define it similarly. See, there's a difference between submission and obedience, right?
Mm-hmm.
Obedience is doing something not to get in trouble because it's a law.
Yeah.
Right.
Submission is to do it because you desire to please.
Right.
Right.
And I think
I agree.
a lot of women, when they hear the word submission, they cringe, especially women, more modern women in the church today. See, I hold a degree from Liberty University in religion. Don't let the tattoos fool you. I used to be a pastor at one point. And I noticed that a lot of women have a problem with the deference of authority to their husbands. And so knowing that you're a businesswoman, that you're starting your own career, knowing that you had a negative experience with somebody in the past that led you to a divorce, how do you find yourself conflicted with the idea of a man wanting his wife to be his wife and allowing him to be the provider? Do you feel conflict, like you have to have your business going? Is that something that you feel like it's going to be a necessity for you to continue to do? Or could you be the wife at home and let him defer those responsibilities to him?
I think that I don't think that it would be a problem. I think that for the success of my marriage, I've done it before. There were things that I put on the back burner. Actually, when I got a divorce, it was extremely uncomfortable for me to kind of step into the workforce and step into a different role because my role and responsibility was ultimately my children. However, I do feel like it would be a shame if my husband did not utilize my intelligence. I feel like I could be an asset to my husband if he has a business or any way that I could help him. So just to kind of, not to completely disregard that, I think that that would speak volumes on him and what he might see as an asset
Yeah.
and what might be valuable long term for our family.
Well, I mean, I just think about, like, let's say you come across a business guy, Christian business guy, makes enough money to live off of very comfortably. You don't need to work. There's no need. There's like he needs you to be his wife. He has employees to be his employees, but he's shopping for a wife, right? So he wants a wife to take care of the wifely, responsibilities, the kids, the family, the home, him. Is a career, because, and I know a lot of people when they start their career, they get very emotionally invested. So letting something go that they are so emotionally attached to is difficult. Is that something you find yourself conflicted with?
I would say no, and I'm only gonna give you just a logical, realistic answer because I can't give like hypothetical.
Yeah.
Like I haven't been in a relationship or anything that has potentially led towards marriage. So, for me, that's not something that I've realistically had to entertain. But giving you an answer from a hypothetical standpoint, would I give up a career for my family and my marriage? Absolutely. Like I said, I've done it before.
Yeah.
And it talks about it in the Bible, but it does talk about it in Proverbs 31. that the woman is supposed to work. Like, she's supposed to work inside of her home, and she's also supposed to
Yes.
work alongside her husband.
Yeah.
So he hunts, she prepares the whatever that might be. So essentially, if my husband is a businessman, me handling the IT side of things saves him money.
Oh,
That saves
absolutely.
money for our family, and it helps make money for our family. So why would
Absolutely.
he not utilize that? And that doesn't have to do with me leaving the home or
Hmm.
neglecting the children. I can still be there full time with the children all day. I could still nurse. I can still be a caregiver, have dinner cooked, cleaned, still go grocery shopping, because these are things that you're allowed to do. So the dissolvement of my business to essentially uh, for a bigger picture of a family plan, I would 110% get behind that. Um, I just talked about this before earlier, but I am retired from the military.
Yeah.
Like I
What
said, if
branch,
I
by the way?
never had, huh?
What branch, by the way?
I was in the Army.
Okay. Yeah, I was Air Force
Yeah.
pararescue. I'm retired too.
Okay, yeah. So I was a chaplain assistant, and I worked at the
Oh,
hospitals in Hawaii.
yeah,
So
yeah. Chaps. I worked with them a lot.
yeah.
Here's another question. So, do you find a lot of I don't know what caused your end of your marriage. All I do know is what you said so far is that somebody decided that being faithful was something that they didn't feel the need to do anymore, and they stepped out. Do you believe that that you may have played a role in that negative behavior? And I only ask that in the sense of because modern Christian women tend to not be available for their husbands
Yes.
as much as their husbands desire, which goes against First Corinthians 7, I think 15, where it talks about that
Choose
you are
your
not
body is
yours.
not your body.
Exactly. And the only time that you
Right.
are supposed to say no is when you guys have an agreed amount of time when it's committed to prayer. So, with that being said, a lot of guys, I notice a lot of married men, Christian men in space, end up stumbling on porn or end up doing something they shouldn't be doing because their wives are neglecting them in that area or they make it like a chore. Do you feel that, there may have been a role that you looking back at it, like you may have played a role somehow?
Absolutely. So I've actually talked about this on some other podcasts that I've been on. I got married extremely young. And I feel like being married extremely young kind of, and me being raised a certain way, kind of, I demonized sex almost. So
Mm,
for me, I looked at it more as something that I was supposed to be doing, and not something that, like, this is um, for my husband, or like to be connecting on an intimate level, or us, rejoining and things like that. So, and then the more that I began to have children, the more that I disconnected with my spouse. We did not spend time together. I definitely withheld sex. Um, he definitely started reaching certain career accolades. And it was like the higher in the tax bracket he went, the more entitled he felt to certain women that he might not have had access to before
mhm.
due to monetary restriction.
Yeah, he was
So it's
leveling
like
up.
once yeah, so right, he becomes an operations manager for 6 different facilities in Chicago, and he's now making upward $200,000 a year. That puts you in a totally different
Tax
playing
bracket,
field.
yeah. It's a whole nother
Yeah,
playing
exactly.
field.
So he's like, I want my wife at home being my wife, cooking, cleaning, taking care of the babies, but I also want to experience these different women that now I have money
Hmm.
so I can trick off, pardon my
Hmm.
French, but trick off
Yeah.
and buy her a bag, and she's going to do whatever I say. I could fly her out to Miami for the weekend, and I know my kids are going to be at home with my wife and be
Mm.
110% good. And, he wanted both.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Do you feel like that?
I became resentful of that. I felt like, well, if you're going to step out, just go ahead.
Do you feel like
Whatever.
that was like that mentality came from a lack of connection between the two of you, or lack of understanding, or being equally yoked in that sense?
Absolutely. I think that, when they say money changes people, it definitely does. You can think that someone is one way
Hmm.
morally, you know, because there's a lot of humility that comes with um, when a man doesn't have as much provision, or he doesn't provide as much, he has to focus in on other attributes in his leadership skills,
Mhm.
right? Versus when he gets money, he might start becoming an asshole, or he might
Yeah.
start neglecting certain things that he might have once valued,
Mhm.
because now he gets more inside of his ego and less inside of, and that as a woman creates a sense of insecurity for
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
And essentially, it makes us kind of pull away. And our biggest way to pull away from a man and hit him where it hurts is sex, you
Well, I
know?
mean, yeah, it's the one thing that women can give a man that a man can't give himself.
Right,
I mean,
exactly.
that's
But
literally
he
the
does
only
have
thing.
capability. Yeah, he does have capability to go get it
He has means.
elsewhere should a wife neglect it.
Mhm.
So I fully take accountability for the role that I played in how I could have done better, as far as like, and what I will do moving forward in my marriage if this ever becomes a problem. But I also feel like physical connection now, the way that I view it, it's extremely important to me.
Oh
So
yeah, I
like
think
when
it's
I was younger, physical touch was not one of my love languages. Now it's extremely important to me. I feel like it's how you reconnect with the person that you love.
well, it's the only thing that separates your relationship from a platonic friendship. I
Hmm.
mean, you don't sleep with your friends, do you? You know, it's that bond is what literally creates it. And I'm grateful to hear that you say that. I'm very sorry that you had to go through what you experienced. I've been down that road myself before. And I realized that, you know, a lot of guys, a lot of Christian guys struggle from um infidelity or porn or things like that. And one of the major reasons are is they feel like their wife are is withholding from them.
Absolutely. Hmm.
And I was like, well, ladies, you know, you are opening the door for sin to come into your marriage. You are opening that door. You let that door open. So yes, it's not your fault that he ends up acting on it, but
Hmm.
it's your responsibility and your fault for keeping that door open. I mean, leaving that an
Right.
option. You know, so it's amazing that you say that because most women will not, you know, accept that. When it comes to
Yeah.
leadership, is leadership given automatically, or do you like feel like he has to reach some standard, some quality before you defer your authority to him?
So I would say, like, perfect example right now, kind of like Sergio, I think, did you ask me about disciplining like my children?
Yeah, yeah, I did.
Okay, so like for right now, technically, because I'm unmarried, right? Those are things that come within like a role of leadership, discipline, things like those. Legally, if someone like a boyfriend or anything like that hits or strikes my child,
Mm-mm.
I'm held
Mhm.
legally accountable for those things. When we're married, um, it's a different thing, because in some states, the step parent has equal rights of a parent,
Very
right?
few, very few.
Right,
They have more rights, as in it's not rights. They have more responsibilities. They have the
right,
it's the equal
responsibility.
responsibilities, but they don't have the equal rights. So you're equally
Right,
responsible for the well-being of the child, but when it comes to discipline, that's not the case.
right. So kind
Yeah.
of like that. Like, as far as me relinquishing or submitting, or like giving up my said leadership, I feel like it's not necessarily I feel like I said, like watching how he leads his own life is a
Mhm.
big determination on, you know, like if someone is not consistent in their own life, they don't
Mhm.
get up, they don't go to work, they're not doing certain things. Naturally, I literally probably wouldn't be able to follow your leadership. But if I see certain things, I feel like women, we do this thing called like nesting, right?
Mhm.
And we do it when we have babies, and we do it when we feel secure, safe, and see certain attributes in men that pull our
Mhm.
femininity out. So like you'll notice she starts planning, like almost like with the handkerchief thing that he talked about earlier, she'll start dropping
Mhm.
little hints of like she sees her future with you. This is her slowly but surely like giving up her her wanting to have control over her own life. And I feel like that naturally happens with a man that is providing, protecting,
Yeah.
and wanting to make plans for your life together. So I feel like there's no need for there to necessarily be like a absolute conversation of like, all right, now it's Tuesday. We've been
Yeah.
dating for 6 months. I'm done now. Like, I'm gonna move in with you. Like, we're gonna get married. I feel like it just
Yeah.
naturally progresses that way.
Oh yeah. See, like, I think it's like once you take it from courting or dating to marriage, and now you have that, and then people like to say commitment. I know it's a covenant. It's a covenant. It's agreement between the husband, wife, and God. There's something there. This is not just a contract. I don't feel that. I don't believe. I don't say feel. I don't believe that you could go back and be like, well, I really don't trust you in this area yet enough to lead. It's kind of like, well, you know what? You have to be able to trust this individual in all areas to give them that authority, or it's not even giving them authority. You are deferring to his authority. So you're not necessarily
Right.
surrendering yours. You're just deferring yours to his in alignment with the purpose and mission that he sets out for the family, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I hear in churches, especially pastors, they're like, ladies, you need to let your husbands lead. And I think it's the terminology and understanding that kind of causes a lot of conflict for relationships. It's not a let, it's not a you need to let him do this. This is his position in your household that God ordained. You not doing it is you sinning. You
Right.
know, it's causing conflict in your marriage. Now, when you say, because I've been married and I have had I married a mother that had children. What do you think is going to be the most difficult obstacle? Because I know a lot of guys be like, oh, leave all single moms alone, don't leave them for the street,
Right. I feel
blah
like,
blah blah. You know,
yeah,
do you think is the most difficult hurdle that you're going to come across in that area?
I think it is what you just said in the first place. I feel like I've heard this a lot of time in dating. They're like, Indy, you're literally perfect. And I'm like, I don't think I'm perfect. Don't take that way. But they'll be like, you're perfect. Like, I would marry you tomorrow. But you have 3 kids.
Mhm.
And so I've heard that like
Well, I mean,
A
is it
a
lot.
three kids?
lot. And I'm
But
like,
I
okay,
think
how do
a
you
lot of
want me to
people
like
don't like
take
take the
that? Like, because I
context
can't
of,
put them back inside of my womb.
but they don't. I
Like,
don't think. I think the way that they came about matters. Like it's one husband, 3 children. You know,
uh,
instead of 3 different baby daddies. That do you see? I think that there's a little bit more
yeah,
in
and
there.
I'm not gonna lie, I do take offense a little bit. Sometimes when people do call me a baby mama, only because of the fact that I had a standard set in place for someone before I allowed them to use my womb.
Yeah,
Like I required, like our last names matched. Like there was
yeah.
no like paternity test. There was no worry or fear of like if me and this person like there was stepping out, like I didn't hook up with someone. I valued my body and my womb enough to say that, hey, um, these are the things that need to happen. Essentially, you're just not gonna knock me up.
Yeah.
Like and I think that that also comes from though. Um, Seeing one my mother not have that value for herself until late, so I did learn from that, but then
Mm.
also having a great example in my grandmother of what a traditional Christian married woman looks like um I would say that I am very traditional in the sense of like, and sometimes I feel like even now, especially in my age bracket, I tend to date up and not necessarily around 27. Because when we look at most 27-year-old men who are my age, they
They're
might
playing
not
video games in their
have,
underwear. They're probably chatting with your kids on Twitch or something.
right. They have no, there's a mental, literal, like a mental disconnect between, and it becomes almost like I'm mothering them and not, so um, it just falls under this, I don't know. And I've had like someone that I might have attempted to date in my age bracket, and I fix plates, right? Like I don't believe that the man that I'm with um should be fixing his plate. It's a submission thing to
Yeah.
me. I watched my grandmother do it for her husband. My mom does it for my stepdad. My stepmom does it for my biological dad. It's just the example that I've seen. Um, so gender roles, I do believe in them, and I feel like with our age group, like with my age group now, they want to blur lines,
Yeah. Well, they
and a
want to
lot
get
of
an
it.
they want an egalitarian relationship, and when you have an egalitarian relationship, you have no leader. You know, you have one person as the scapegoat when things don't work out because you guys are both equally responsible, right? You know that God has a system and an order. He put husbands above wives, wives above children, Christ above man, man above woman. God was very orderly when he did it, and he did it for a specific reason, not because the value of a man is greater than, has nothing to do.
Right.
That's what a lot of people get confused. And I was talking with the guys from Iron Disciples today, and they were telling me, like, it's funny because we associate who's first as in who's more valuable,
Right.
and that's not the case. Is you have a function, you have a purpose. I don't need
Right.
you
God.
playing my role and me playing your role, because I wasn't designed to play your role. You're designed to play your role. I was designed to play mine. And then when we swap that, when we flip that in relationships, it may work, but it's not working in its best designed purpose. You may be able to drive a car with diesel in the tank instead of gas for a while, but it may not be running on its, as its best. It may tear down quicker. I think
Right.
that's something important. Now, when it comes to, and this is from my own experience being married and being divorced, as a step parent, the biggest thing for a guy, and it's very difficult, and I'm just giving you some insight from the male perspective that lived that before. It's a hard line because you get emotionally attached to these children. You end up seeing them as your own, but you get this constant reminder that you have to defer to her authority over things because these children are not your own. So moms tend to, especially moms that have kids like in a divorce, it's a hard thing to balance emotionally, knowing that you always want your children to be raised with their father. I mean, that was the goal from the beginning. So there's a sense of guilt that's there, and kids could zone in on that, and they will definitely play that against you. Let's say it's like, Mom, I wanted to go do this, but stepdad said no. But dad said I could do it. Do you see that they like to do that? And they put you in a position where you have to pick and choose between where you stand. And it's a lot harder than I think most people would accept, is that it's harder for the mom to align with her new husband than it is for her to align with her children. And so where do you think that's going to be a problem for you when it comes to the hierarchy of priority in your life? Is it going to be a hard time for you to move the children beneath your husband, because that's how it's supposed to be designed?
Yeah, right. No, I don't think so. And I talk to people about this all the time, is that children are born for a purpose for their life. Of course, it is your responsibility to leave lineage and legacy behind for them so that they're not at a deficit in their path of life. God forbid something happens. But ultimately, if we look at Genesis and creation, God created man and woman first, and your children grow up and become their own individual people. And I think a lot of the time we see like single moms who are like helicopter moms, and they are like, my baby, my baby, my baby. And it's like
Mm-hmm.
smothering, right? And they're not developing their children to become functioning, healthy, good members of society that are supposed to be their own people, driven within God's purpose and their gifts and talents. And we
Mm-hmm.
find that they want to keep them in that baby forever. So a lot of
Yeah.
times they neglect their marriage. So that's why I was saying, like, certain things that I feel like married couples should do, or moving forward in my future marriage, not going longer than 2 weeks without connecting on a no kids, no phones, um, because that's how you build that bond. And I feel like when you strengthen that cord, the kids, anybody outside of that can't break that, because people look for holes in, you see it all the time, even in first marriages and
Yeah.
stuff. People look for holes and vulnerabilities in the marriage to essentially break the cord or the household down.
Yeah, but I mean, we prioritize things so difficult. It's hard, especially when you have a family. You're juggling things. You got kids, got school, they got practice, you got work, you got the gym. He has business meetings. Where do you find the time? And I would say the best thing to do is to prioritize the relationship first. Number one, because you don't have a family unless you have a relationship. And if your relationship's not solid, then you are letting your family and your relationship have kinks in it, and the foundation slowly crack. So I would definitely say that the intimacy and time with you and your spouse is going to be number one. That has to be number one. And intimacy doesn't necessarily mean sexually. You guys could be doing a Bible study together. That's intimate.
Right.
He could be leading you in that area, going on walks. I think it's every once a week minimum. For an hour is that time where you guys are just checking out and it's just you two. I think that was amazing. That's good. I just tell you that it's going to be you're going to find it difficult. I'm just speaking on experience.
Oh, I know.
That,
yeah.
Children and new spouses are always, there's going to be times where it's going to be more challenging than it is going to be beneficial. You're going to see. And you have to trust God and trust the man that he has given you, and check out of your emotions. You have to emotionally be able to detach at times in this point, because what you think you're doing, because you respond emotionally because you see your child sad about something, is planting a seed of doubt, not in just your kid's mind, but in the mind of your husband. Because when a wife or a mother undermines her husband, what she's telegraphing to the kids is, you know what? I'm actually really in control. So you don't have to go to him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's thinking, well, wait a minute, I'm losing my position for what? It's a little difficult. So I just, encourage you to just keep that in mind when you're looking forward.
So, Indy, do you have any last thoughts or anything left to say?
No, I really appreciate the perspective and the candidness in the conversation, and being open to really hearing my story, perspective, or certain things that I have to say, and not just judging based off of the stats on the paper, right?
It's more than stats. It's always more than stats.
Right. So, thank you.
Dude, bro, thank you so much for coming, Glenn. You did a really good job at just looking into the depth of this conversation, and it's crazy how deep it is in this sphere when we talk about relationships, especially women who already have kids, step parenting and stuff. Like, this is something that is not talked about enough in this sphere, like at all.
Absolutely, yeah.
And as somebody that like co-parents and stuff, I'm so happy y'all even did this, because it's something like that needs to be talked about a lot more, bro. So thank you so much for that, man.
I'll hit you guys up when I go to Dallas. I'll be in Dallas next month.
Bro, come through.
Yeah,
most definitely.
Yeah,
right,
come through, bro. Slide in the DMs on Instagram. I will definitely see you soon, man. I appreciate you for coming.
All right, you guys have a good one.
Peace out,
Peace.
bro. Later. And then, yeah, guys, we're gonna close it up. But I got a super chat, so I'm gonna read the super chat really quick. We got it from Ov. I don't know how to say your name. Ovigata. $20. I told one of my wives that since her son's father wants him, then he should be raised by his father. Would she agree to that if her new husband believed that's best?
So I think I've talked about this on another episode too. My ex-husband has primary custody of the youngest two.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm not opposed to, if the children feel like that's what kids let you know what they need.
Yeah.
They let you know where there's
or what they want.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I feel like when you keep the child from the father, it builds resentment, especially in boys.
Very true.
Like, I've seen it, like when a man lacks father Like they tend to lash out. They have lack of control over emotions. You see a lot of like behavioral things. So sometimes I think that that is good. Like if you know that as a woman, you are not equipped to allow essentially like that man to still dictate in the household. Like let's say you do get married to someone else and now you have a husband and it's going to cause conflict. If that means that your child needs to go live with
The dad.
you're right.
You might need to, I mean, you need to consider it.
Right.
Yeah. No, no, thanks, bro. I appreciate 20, bro. No, thank you, Indy, so much for coming. Honestly, this was a very educational show. I think a lot of people, this was a really good show for the people watching because if you're a heavy red pillar, y'all just got to kind of experience how there are women out here that have kids, but they're literally perfect in every other fucking aspect. And we love to say we're never gonna become stepdads. We would never do anything like that. Uh, but shit, you never know who you're gonna fall in love with. That's something that is like a big joke sometimes that I like to think about. Man, it would be so funny to see somebody who talks a lot of shit about this, but then I see them in 5 or 10 years and they're married, happily married to somebody who had previous kids.
Right.
You just never know what's gonna happen. Like I would honestly never say never because you never know what will happen, guys. But yeah, and somebody else asked something a lot. Dr. Matt asked a lot. Do you like astrology?
So I would say yes and no. Like I don't really like buy into it. Like I'm not like, oh, this person is a
A
Capricorn, so
Capricorn.
that means that I'm never gonna like date Capricorns or something like that. Because you have to think about like what goes into a person's like makeup of who they are.
But it's entertaining a little bit.
Yeah, it's funny. Like
Everybody's doing
and
it for
listening, but
entertainment.
listening to people who get like really really in depth on it, like I've seen it amongst some like girls or
It
like
drives me
I've seen
crazy.
it more amongst women than amongst men.
Yeah.
They're like all of this sign are like
This.
a-holes or all this sign are like they're great in bed or all this sign and I'm like, what? How do you get that?
It drives me more crazy than I want to say. It's probably the number one or number two things that pisses me off about the world today is astrology. Like it's just like God damn.
Because it wasn't existent. Like when our grandparents and our parents weren't dating, they weren't like, hey.
Yeah, it wasn't how big it is today. Now astrology has been around for thousands of years. We have always looked to the stars. We've always looked to making these symbols, and like that's how we could tell what the different seasons were and everything like that. But the whole like making it a religion, which is what is like fucking annoying, man.
He said something in the chat that's really interesting. Can I address it really
Yeah,
quick?
yeah, go ahead.
This guy said, yeah, got some dude. Like, basically, I think what he was trying to say is that some dudes have, like, kids. Like, the guys with kids, I've heard this before, too.
What?
Guys with kids, that's who I also need to be dating.
Huh?
So
Really?
basically trying to cross.
Oh,
families,
trying to
like,
find
Trying to, like, blend families.
Trying to do a half
That's what it
family,
is,
yeah.
And so let me tell you where this becomes a conflict, just speaking from, like, a dating perspective. Guys who have kids, especially if they weren't married, and the women, we find that a lot more women leverage child support, custody, things like that to punish men.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of the time, the woman becomes like the sufferer of the backlash of that said failed relationship.
Yeah.
So for like a woman who, as like, if I date a guy with kids, if like I said, if they don't have a really healthy co-parenting relationship and things like that, I've noticed it's a lot of drama.
Yeah, well, and it spills into you, is what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and I agree. He was, and the dad does have primary custody on the two of them, Dr. Matt. Christians have always fought, but yeah, dude, I really appreciate everybody for coming in, man. Thank y'all all so much for showing up. This was a really good episode for the dating show. We're gonna do this again, guys, next Wednesday. I think we might have two girls instead of just one. So if you're the type where she's not your type and the other one is, maybe you'll have more of a different
options.
girl. Yeah, you'll have options. Yeah, you'll have options, guys. But no, thank y'all all so much for coming, guys. Definitely Friday night we will have our regular Friday night show. Should have a lineup of a bunch of beautiful ladies this time. I don't know who our special guest is yet, but I'll definitely let y'all know on Friday. But no, I appreciate everybody, y'all. Thank you, Indy, so much for coming.
Yeah, of course.
Y'all go add her on Instagram right now. There's her Instagram in the bottom. And then also just add us on Instagram, and she's already tagged in the story if you want to find her on there. Please, once again, join the YouTube channel. We need 2 more people to join for us, memberships for us to be able to get another emoji. And yeah, guys, I got my ClickFunnels course coming out here in the next like week or 2, so I'll be able to actually,
What is a ClickFunnels?
ClickFunnel. I shouldn't even have said that because that's just a derogatory. It sounds bad actually. But no, I have like my dating course coming out for men, guys, in the next week or 2. So if anybody is interested in like learning some of my tricks that I've had up my sleeve my whole life, I'm gonna be dropping game. I'm not going to be ever giving a lot of those tricks out on the regular stream for free. So if you ever want to know the secrets of how I've always had beautiful women as my girlfriends and I've always been surrounded by them, that's where you're gonna find me, guys. But yeah, thank you all so much for coming again. Thank you, Indy, and thank you, Donnie, for producing tonight. I really appreciate you, bro. And we will see y'all on Friday. Yeah, peace the fuck out. Later.
What? Toodaloo, motherfucker.